Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about our office hours and what we expect in a work day. We have several different positions, and the different positions have different hours. Let's start off with our maintenance guys. During the summertime, they tend to start their work at like 7 in the morning and work until 3 in the afternoon, 3:30, so that they can get work done while it is still cool. During the winter, they have to adjust those hours a little bit because it's still dark out at 7 in the morning. So they have a little bit of a fluctuation as far as what time of the day they work. They work an 8 hour day. Um, and so they are out on property doing jobs as soon as the daylight and the warmth of the day or the weather will allow them to do. That is discussed between them and their supervisor. Second, we have the office staff. Well, our office is open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And if we always want to make sure that we have office staff here that can cover the phones and cover people coming into the office during that time. So we have people that show up in the office as early as 8 o'clock, and they stay as late as 5:30. So the office is definitely covered during that time, and it gives them time to get prepared to start their day or to wrap up their day after somebody has come in to talk to us. Okay. Our managers have a little bit of a different schedule. We ask that if they do not have meetings during the week, that they are still also working that 9 to 6 time frame. We want you to be in the office and ready to work and ready to answer calls. We get homeowner calls anytime from 9 to 5, so you may get calls forwarded to you as early as 9 o'clock. If you have a meeting during the week, we want you to allot your hours so that you are still working as close to a 40-hour work week as possible. So we have some properties that are very good about their board meetings stay within an hour time frame. So if you have to work an extra hour in the evenings, then you come in an hour later or you leave an hour earlier some other time during that same week, that same work week. We have a few properties that are a little more winded in their board meetings, and those board meetings tend to run a little bit longer. And we ask that you also allot that if you stayed for a 3 to 4 hour meeting, which I hope we don't have very many of those, but if you stayed for quite a while at a meeting, then you can allot your time to be adjusted a little bit for how long you stayed in a meeting. But the one thing that I want the managers to remember is you are still a full-time employee. You have the ability to look at see what your time entries are in our system of clocking in and out on the app that's Timera. So you know about how many hours you've put in for the week. If you're not putting in 40 hours consistently, I am going to start asking some questions because I put in 40 hours a week. The other owner of the company puts in at least 40 hours a week. Our office staff does, and our maintenance staff does. So please do not take it for granted and think that you have flexible enough hours that you can just work anytime you want. You can work to flex your hours to allot for if you have to deal with something outside of our standard office hours, being a meeting, an emergency, anything like that. But as far as just coming to work when you want to come to work, that's not an option. I do review the time sheets out of Timera every single time I pay everybody to see if you're actually working roughly a 40-hour week. If that gets to where it's quite a few hours less, I get a little irritated, to be very honest. So you need to make sure that you work as close to a 40-hour week as possible. If that is meaning that you have 2 or 3 meetings during the week, if it just happens to be one of those times when every property you have is meeting, then you might be able to take a day off during that week to allot to adjust your hours. But you have to let us know what you're doing as far as the office is concerned. As far as office hours are concerned, when you are supposed to be at work, we need to know where you're at. There is a little bit of a teamwork scenario there that if we have an emergency on a property, whether it's your property or somebody else's property, if you're close to it, we may have you go out there and get eyes on it firsthand while somebody else is making their way to the property. So any communication about coming in late, any communication about going out on properties needs to be handled at the front desk of our office and letting us know where you're at. So when we talk about office hours, we have a board by the front desk that has everybody's name on it with a little magnet you put in and out. But if you know where you're going, you need to also put that down on the board as well so that we have an idea of what's going on for the day.